Hello and welcome back to Cybercreed. It has been quite a while since I uploaded any YouTube video, and I am really sorry for that. And I was literally busy with all of the corporate jargons, but now I am free, and now I'll be able to create much more video content for you all guys. So in this video, we will be talking about specifically the LangChain and the chatgpt based application that is arising so much. And it has been gaining popularity like fire. Everyone is trying to build some kind of startup and some kind of applications using that. And like already if you see the startups that are built using these products are just immense. So in this video, I will be giving you like general overview or 1000-foot view, how this all things tie up together and how these applications are basically made. And from the next video onwards, we will try to create some projects using this all techniques that we are going to discuss. So stay tuned for that. And if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please make sure to subscribe that. And if you are going to like this video, please make sure to like it. So let's just first discuss what actually is the LLMs. Because before understanding this LangChain and this chatgpt, we have to understand the LLMs. So LLMs are basically large language models that are basically capable of understanding human-based text. So you can provide them a text as a response, and it can generate understanding what you actually meant to say. And the best and the finest product of it was the chatgpt that broke the internet once it was released. Well, now its popularity is declining quite a bit because multiple other companies have created their own LLMs. So now what actually is happening in the industry is there is a library called LangChain that is like open source library, and the library documentation is available in either Python or JavaScript. So here we talk mostly about Python, so I will be trying to give reference using Python. So here they have incorporated the way of the chatgpt and given us the power that we can create our own LLMs. So because if you know that the chatgpt have basically like 2021 or 2022 data at the very last. So if you are going to ask it something new or something that you have kept private, or the data that is not available on the internet, because they have basically scrapped throughout the internet and then they have basically gathered the information, some of the information like the personal data of any company, they are basically kept private, so you can basically use them to create very, very good chatbot for the company. And that is what this LangChain module is helping us to do. So now let us try to understand how actually it is trying to do all of this magic inside of the box. So what actually is happening is that you can basically go to the chatgpt and you can like put the post, like a post of information. Like this LangChain module is very new and the chatgpt was not there when this LangChain was built. So if you ask any question related to LangChain, the chatgpt will not be able to answer that. But if you just go to the website of chatgpt, paste the article about LangChain, and then you start asking questions, it will start answering because it have now the content that you have provided it. And in the same way, the LangChain is also working. So here we have the two main components. The first one is our chatgpt, and the second one is basically our database. So in traditional database, we basically store like SQL and NoSQL. These are the most common and the most popular one. So SQL is for basically very structured kind of data, and NoSQL for unstructured kind of data. But here what we basically use is something different. Here we basically use vector databases. So vector databases, because if you know something about the machine learning, which also we talk on this channel quite a lot. So machine don't usually understand the text data. They have to, because they are basically mathematical equations. They understand just numbers. So what we do, we convert all the text that is basically passed to our machine in the form of vectors, and then the machine finds the result and do this calculation, and then it's also provide the response back into the numbers, and then we apply some logic to convert that numbers back to the text and then provide it as a result. So this is the underlying principle of how machine understand the textual data. So here you might have understood the importance of the numbers. So in this, what actually happens, we have the vector database. So what are vector databases? So vector databases are very powerful tool, and which is like rising crazy due to the rise of this like ChatGPT. They are, instead of storing the text data, like if you are trying to store let's suppose an article from Wikipedia or anything, any textual information, it will be converted into the text. That basically text will be converted into the form of vectors, and it will be stored in our Redis database. So what happens here is that we use the database, and the vector database are from multiple categories, and the one that I love is Redis vector databases, because it is open source and you can install it locally, while other also provides free option, but they have their own limitation. But Redis you can set up on your own local system and play with it. So that is the part that we are going to discuss in the future video. But for now, let's understand the vector database. So let us suppose there is a one word, let's say king, and then there is, let's say, a second word queen. So in vector databases, both the words are going that have the similar meaning are going to be together. So like if in our vector databases we have the word king and queen, they will be closer as compared to the word like say donkey and monkey. So the distance between the king and queen will be less as compared to the distance between king and the donkey and the king and the monkey, or queen and the monkey, whatever, because they are differently related. They are not directly related like king and queen heart close together like we are talking about humans. So in the same way the vector databases work. So now we have got some basic idea of the vector databases. Now let's try to put things into the perspective. Let's suppose you want to create a bot that answers questions based on the PDF that user is uploading, and this is some very common use case, and some of the websites are built using this technique that allows users to upload their PDF files and then ask questions. So you can upload your, let's suppose, the notes that you have studied in your college, university, or whatever, and it will provide answers getting after extracting the information from that. So what actually happens in the backend is, here's a PDF file. You use some kind of a PDF extraction method to read the text content from that PDF file. So there is in Python we have Py2PDF or PDF reader. So there are multiple PDF reading libraries available there. So we read the data from the PDF that is in the text form. Then we have to convert this text into the vector. So for that we need embeddings. So in our ChatGPT, it's also provide OpenAI embeddings that we can basically use to convert this textual data into the vector form. So we basically make use of that, convert this text data into the vector form, and then we store that data into our Redis database. So now we have the Redis database that contains your post in the form of vectors. Now here is the magic that is going to happen. So let's suppose user have uploaded the PDF and now he is asking the question. So in vector database, what happens whenever you ask question like there is the PDF of COVID and you ask when was the COVID first detected. So what it is going to do, it is going to take your text and then it is going to perform similarity search on this entire vector database. So then it is going to be fetching the records that are very similar to that. So as I have told, here is the king and here is the queen. So the distance between king and queen was very less as compared to king and the donkey. So your question will be plotted in that same x and y axis. And there what it is going to do, it is simply going to take all the nearest neighbor to that particular point. So things that are mentioning like when the COVID was there, or things that is nearly or remotely connected to this entire question will be captured. And then what it is going to do, it is going to return that response to the ChatGPT. So now the response from your vector databases is then sent to the ChatGPT, and ChatGPT have now that particular information. And then using that information, it provides you the simple answer. And this is how from one end to one end this entire thing is implemented. So this is a very basic overview of how this vector databases and the AI is working underneath, but I think this one is going to be good enough to give you like kind of clear guidance so that you can basically build a project. So from the next video, we will try to build this project where you can upload PDF and then you can basically ask questions to it. So I think that is it for this video, and please make sure to subscribe to this channel and please make sure to like the video too. So till then, bye bye.